Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
niggas and crackers,
guys, gals,
and non-binary pals, hot girls and city boys,
saints and ain'ts,
and all our Harlem family, welcome to your very own podcast.
Back.
You.
How is everyone doing? Once again, it is, of course, your boy Justin Winley, a.k.a. Dwayne Broadway, a.k.a. Obi-Wan Shinobi, a.k.a. Samurai Shampoo, a.k.a. Mr. Ari Lennox, the Shea Butter Baby's baby father. If you're listening, Ari, come through just for a little guest appearance.
Wow, Justin. Listen, Ari Lennox, don't come over. Alicia Keys, come over, please. Alright, you know what it is? It's your boy Jude Ali Steffers-Wilson, aka Sinbad Stefanucci, aka the Diet Dominican, aka the Magnificent Mullion, aka the Philosophical Gangster, aka the Gargantuan Guinea, aka the Coco Cannoli, aka the Crispy Lasagna, aka the Chocolate Linguine. You know what it is, baby?
All of those were fantastic. Those were the best yet.
Thank you very much, man.
So,
I appreciate it.
Hey, everybody, we're back. Back in black, as is the name of the episode. Happy Black History Month, first and foremost.
Yo, Bad Boys for Life.
If you don't stream HvO, you're anti-black. So that
was
that's just a statement.
That's a statement, but like what?
And anti-Italian because Jude's half Italian.
Yeah.
So think about that. No,
you can't eat pizza. You can't eat fried chicken.
Right. You
can't eat lasagna.
None of the things.
You can't eat collard greens.
None of it.
You can't drink grape soda.
Nope. I don't think we made that. I don't know. We took it. We made it popular. Which is kind of what we're going to be getting into today. But before all of that, obviously it's been a little bit. Jude and I have taken something of a break. And so we wanted to. I just want to open up with how was your break, Jude?
My break is rough. It's been rough because personal stuff going on with familia and shit. But I'm kind of in this new structured lifestyle going on. I just wake up, go to school, wake up, work out, go to school, train, read on the train, do my homework at night or do my homework at school. I'm just really in this zone because I graduated this semester, and and I'm just looking at my next school. Probably waiting to hear back from Hunter.
Okay,
I heard back from John Jay. They want the kid, but
nice.
But yeah, I'm just training and thinking about also taking one of those tournaments because we've been bit by Garcia Kung Fu has been bit by that tournament bug and that competition bug. Everybody want to fight right now. So yeah, and your boy's thinking about getting tatted, and it's just like that's the way life is right now. It's structured, but then you gotta just throw in spice in there, and I'm worried that the spice is gonna be tats.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I have a lot of friends around me that are graduating and finishing, and that's dope. I am a few semesters behind everybody, so I'll meet y'all at the after party. But
popping bottles.
Yeah, but this semester is probably one of my busiest yet in terms of the classes and the material that's required for all the classes, and also just my schedule even outside of it. Much like Jude, I'm still trying to work. I have been working for a little over a year now. I've had a job at TJ Maxx, a retail gig, which is, it's money. And now I can really only work 2 days a week because I can't work evenings because I come here to train.
Yeah.
And I'm also already missing 2 days out of the training week because one of my classes meets on Tuesday, Thursday evenings,
That sucks ass.
Yeah. And especially ahead of the black belt exam, it's
when do you take that?
I have as much preparation as I could. I think it's going to be in March now. Last I heard, it's being pushed back a little bit. I don't mind waiting. I mean, while I do feel like if I got it now, I'd be like, okay. I also feel like another month won't hurt.
No, of course not. You'll only be better.
Yeah, and by this point, I've also been waiting, a long time and preparing a long time. So everything is going towards making sure that when I get it, I feel like I've earned it.
Yeah.
And other than that, much like you're trying to read and both for pleasure and for class when I can fit it in.
What have you been reading for, if anything, for pleasure?
I got into this book called Screenwriting by Sid Field, which is considered like one of the holy texts of screen.
Yeah. There's always those books for whatever subject.
Yeah, or actually maybe it's called Screenplay. But I might have also messed up the author's name. Oop, whatever. Someone will fact check.
That's a them problem.
Yeah, and so I've been reading that. I've been reading a lot of Pablo Neruda poetry. I've been reading compilation, like these story. What do you call them?
Like short
analogies.
Yeah. Analogies?
Anthologies, rather.
Oh, okay.
Put together by a Japanese author, Haruki Murakami, which one of them is called Men Without Women. And the theme of each story is like it has to do with relationships between men and women romantically, and widowed husbands or whatever. Pretty interesting stuff. And then also trying to write.
Fire. I've been reading this. I read this book. It was called "Dreaming in the Dark." It was by this woman named Starhawk. Mm-hmm. It was like her spirit name, and that's what she goes by. Mm-hmm. And it was about kind of breaking patriarchy in a spiritual way. So it's kind of it was really dope, and I got a lot out of it. But I kind of need to like go back and look at the places where I underlined and I circled things, and to really I
love marking up a book.
Yeah, like it's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. You know, because like I won't really remember it. Right. You know, unless I'm reading like if I were reading Harry Potter, which I never have, but it's just something. If you're reading an entertainment book, that's just. But I'm kind of getting into the idea of reading things that are dealing with philosophy and society and political things, so I can get a better understanding of how I like to live and see a good way I can see the world to live. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I also was reading this book by a Black Panther. She was Elaine Brown. Taste of Power. It's fire. I'm only like 100 pages in, but it's like a thick ass book. And I'm reading about her life, and I'm around where she's our age, and she's young in the Panthers. Like it's like baby Panther right now. Like they're still bubbling, they're organizing, you know. And her life has been fucking crazy, yo. The times don't really change, bro. Like she was talking about her life as a young kid growing up in Philadelphia in the 40s and 50s, and little girls were out here giving each other $150s. They had the razor blades in their hands, smacking chicks. And I'm like, damn, the Bloods did this shit in the 90s. So it just has staying power. I don't know, like what?
The brand is Brolic, I guess, for $150s.
Yo, for real. I'm like, damn. And the way we were living, even the dudes, niggas was out here trying to get waves and rocking do-rags in the 40s and 50s.
Really?
It's like solid in there. It's not like a 2000s thing. No, niggas did that, period. Might have been when they were conking their hair to make it straighter, but they're still getting those like little wavy like crisps in their hair. Yeah. It was wild.
Soul glow.
Rocking yellow do-rags like Muhammad downstairs.
That's super interesting, and that when you recommended that to me, we almost thought about like trying to do like a book review episode, but I wasn't going to be able to.
We're not going to read that in a month right now with all the other stuff we're doing.
Yeah, definitely. But we did want to focus the episode on something that's been kind of a hot topic recently, and that we both think about a lot. First off, we wanted to R.I.P. Kobe and Gianna Bryant. Super tragic passing, super untimely.
Scary as shit.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Where were you when you got the news?
I was chilling at home, and our boy Vaughn posted it on his Instagram story. I thought he was just being a dickhead because LeBron just broke Kobe's record.
His scoring record, yeah.
So I just thought, he's just being a dick, whatever, being funny, duddy, da-da-da-da. Right. Then you hit us up, and you don't follow basketball for shit. and neither do I, but you especially not.
No,
and
not
I'm like,
at all.
what? Kobe died? What? So I Google it. I saw it on TMZ, and I saw it on some other news website. It's like, all right, whatever. Like, whatever's going on. Google it a couple, like 5-10 minutes later. More.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh. And then I called my boy Putman, and he was like, "Yo, Jude." He immediately knew why I was calling him. He was like, "Yo, Jude, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Like, yo, Kobe died? Like, how? Like, what? And then the news came in and it was established that he had passed away. And then it came out like 5 hours later that Gianna was on the helicopter with him and all those other people. RP to them too.
Yes, of course.
But it was just really sad and really tragic. It was just fucking weird. Yeah. It was like, what? It's not like when Muhammad Ali died, and I love Muhammad Ali, and he's is an icon to everybody on the planet.
Of course.
But he was old.
Yeah.
And he had Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm. It made sense.
You know, you're like, okay, he's finally resting in peace. Yeah. He did what he did on this planet. Yeah. Gave us all these amazing memories. He was a crazy bastard sometimes. I'll take that in there too. But you just knew he had lived a full life and he did what he needed to do. Yeah. You just see Kobe just go like that, and you're like, oh, shit. Yeah. Like, because Kobe retired like 3 years ago. Yeah. It was such a violent... I mean, for me, my story is just that I was on Twitter, and the first thing I saw about it was a post from Brother Nature, that dude on Instagram. He's viral because he has like the deer that follows him around, Canela. He's like an animal whisperer. Oh, that's mad cool. Yeah, so... I want to do that when I grow up. Yeah, I actually ran into him at a tattoo parlor. My friend was getting her nose pierced, and we took a selfie with him. Why didn't you take a tattoo? Why didn't you get a tattoo? Because I wasn't there for me. Pussy. But no, I saw his post, and he said, like, I just can't believe this. Rest in peace, Kobe. And now my first thought is, oh, he must be talking about like a dog or something. Like, I know Kobe Bryant isn't dead. Like, he's talking about his pet that he named Kobe or something. Then I go on the trend. I type up "Rip Kobe" into... Well, actually... But even before that, I go to the search bar on Twitter, and the page, the homepage isn't loading. Mm. So then I type in "R.I.P. Kobe," and most of what I'm getting is the LeBron thing. So again, like you, I'm thinking it's a joke, like, oh, R.I.P. Kobe, like his record, like LeBron killed him, whatever. But again, the Twitter, the news feed is not refreshing, and it just keeps, it's, you know. And so I do look it up. I see that TMZ headline, and I'm like, well, it's TMZ. But TMZ can break a lot of shit. They can. I don't know. I just felt like because of how random it was, I was like, even though there's sleazeball news, they break a lot of shit. Yeah, and I mean, I'm still super weirded out by the fact that they knew, even before the authorities knew, like they knew that Kobe Bryant specifically was in a car crash before anyone could get to the thing to identify. Yeah, I said car crash. Yeah, I mean helicopter. But you know what I mean? It was just weird how like they broke the news so immediately. But that all being said, you know, once I was able to kind of keep finding out, okay, it seems like it's real, and more people were mourning and posting about it. You know, then I mentioned it to my dad, and we were leaving. I think we were leaving church and driving to IHOP, and we turned on the radio, and they were talking about it at that point. And then, we got out of the car, we parked the car, get out. Dad sees someone he knows on the block, and it's this guy on the phone talking about, he was in a helicopter crash or something. So everyone felt it. And like you said, I've never followed basketball, but I think Kobe was the type of guy who transcended it. And there's a few of those, like Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, of course, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, all the amazing players from the 90s. And I mean, and 80s and 70s. And most of my memories of him, like, I'm sure if we had certain people in the room, they would go through like different highlights. My only thing is, like a lot of people, being in middle school and shouting Kobe whenever you threw something in a basket, whether or not you made it, And that stayed with me. The fact that, like, I was at my job 4 weeks ago throwing, like, receipt paper in the waste bin going, Kobe, for no reason. Just, like, to make fun of myself, if anything, because I can't make it into the, the wastebasket. And then to find that out, it was super hurtful. And even more so that his daughter was with him. Sorry for kicking you there. And so, it kind of, when Jude and I were thinking about what to talk about, we went through a lot of things, but we kind of wanted to talk about Black celebrity and Black stardom, the impact that Black people, when they become famous, have on the culture at large. Not only because it's, in large part because it's Black History Month, and we wanted to theme the episodes, but also because it just seems topical right now. Yeah.
some recent news is that, Kendrick Lamar has a biography being written about him that'll come out in October.
I just told you I don't think we need it because he's so detailed in his music and he's so open.
Yeah.
And he paints a picture and he told Good Kid, Mad City is basically the biography.
Yeah, it is.
You know? So, I mean, it might be good to read it without the music because you get distracted by the beat.
Yeah.
There's what song that had a fire beat, but like somber swimming pools is a fire beat with somber ass lyrics.
Yeah. That's that whole album really is like, oh, you're not having a good life.
Like you need help, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was
singing
singing
about me, I'm dying of thirst,
That too. I was just like, what? I remember I was singing swimming pools in Mexico. And I'm listening to myself say the words. I'm just like, yo, this is fucked up. I can't remember them right now. I'm not going to recite it. But I'm just like, yo, this song is actually kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
And then, I think it's also poignant to talk about this because we can use this as a jumping off point for anything else we get into.
Yeah.
Is that recently there was this whole debacle between Gayle King and the rest of the black community.
Oh, and the woman with the Kobe Bryant story.
Yeah, Leslie
She
something.
didn't say anything that crazy. I didn't watch the thing. I saw it on Hot 97. And it's because people are like, it's so fresh. And he didn't have a funeral yet.
Mm-hmm.
And why are we talking about this allegation that got dropped or that got dismissed? But then there was a civil suit that, they handled privately.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad that the justice system gets crazy like that, and celebrity just impacts the news, and we all have our own opinion about everything, and nobody can get justice either way.
Yeah,
either someone who might be innocent is still guilty to the eyes of the public, and someone who is guilty will be completely innocent to the public. So I kind of wish, I don't know if it's good or not, but we should all be able to believe someone who has done something that's been done wrong to them, but let the justice system, if it wasn't so fucked up, do its job. Yeah. If we had a competent justice system, I think everything would have been fine.
I'm gonna look up something that I was just watching. Amanda Seales reposted a video from this guy. He talks like he's a pastor or something, but
I hate niggas like
that. Michael Eric Dyson.
Oh yeah, no, I don't hate niggas like that. He cool. I like Michael Eric Dyson. He's an actual minister actually.
Professor, cultural critic. This guy. So he was talking about it, like 10-minute video basically, and I think he raised a good point.
What did he say?
Because I think that people don't accept that human beings can be complicated. We're creating a society where you have to be all one thing or all the other. Yeah, and you can't take the good and the bad and then formulate your decision about the person. Because like one bad day or whatever, or one bad even thought could ruin. So like he was basically talking about how Kobe Bryant, even in the situation, like even though he did not believe that he raped this woman or sexually assaulted her, he did allow for how the encounter, itself could have led her to believe like she was taken advantage of. Yeah. And so he apologized to her and to his wife, and he did everything that he felt he needed to do as a man, as a human being, to reconcile that without accepting the full evil of what she, was accusing him of. And regardless of that, like he was basically saying, Kobe was still being a good person throughout all of this. And that's what's kind of being lost in this discourse. Like the people who are upset with Gayle King for pursuing that line of questioning. Yeah.
She's a journalist. And
she is a journalist.
And journalism is kind of all fucked up now because, you have somebody in office who is against journalism and only reads, the menu at Applebee's. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was good.
And only watches Fox News, doesn't take any other consideration. Exactly. And journalism is fucked up for just being sensational, what will sell the most papers or get the most clicks on Google or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. It's kind of just a capitalist selling game now. We're just selling, you're not selling people the actual truth after a while. But some, news outlets are still very good. But
and I do agree with Dyson in as much as like when he says when the criticism turns from legitimate, like thoughtful questions into just vitriolic, like
until you're like a mob.
Yeah, and then you're calling these black women out of their name. That's when it's like
like Snoop was wilding.
Yeah,
First
of all, Snoop. No, we don't need to free Bill Cosby.
We do not need a free Bill Cosby. That nigga can rot in there. And if you're going to be like, well, what about Weinstein? That nigga need to rot in there too.
Yeah.
Will he? I don't know. Because the justice system is fucked up.
And this is an important question, though. I mean, because these are the minutiae that people get into. Because, yes, Gayle King decided that she would ask Kobe Bryant's grieving friend about his rape accusations. And then also decided to say that because of how close this woman was to Kobe, she wouldn't have been able to see what Kobe was doing if he had indeed been a monster. So people immediately were like, well, yeah, but you were friends with Harvey Weinstein. Did you not see what was happening? Right?
We're friends with fucked up people. I was just watching this thing about the girlfriend of Ted Bundy, and she was his girl while he was out here murdering other women. Yeah. And she had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And then once, a sketch came out, and then he escaped from jail a few times, she called the cops on him.
Yeah.
But you don't know who you're married to or who you're with or who your friends are. You don't know what's going to happen in their lives.
Well, so do you think that?
I mean, it's your friend, and then you're like, damn, man, you fucked up. Like my first boss who took me to baseball games and basketball games is in jail right now for selling that yay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm dead ass. And he's been in jail for like 4 or 5 years. I still love him. I know he because he took me under his wing after my dad died.
Right.
But you're not going to demonize someone because they made a mistake. Yeah. It depends on how bad the mistake is, and depends on how unforgivable it is. But you're also your own person. You should be able to forgive the ones you love if you're directly with them.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that obviously there's like people have different limits to everything, but I'm wondering, like, as a question, like, how do you feel about the idea that someone like two very powerful men, Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, who accused of very similar actions, have been treated so differently, not only like legally, but publicly, and socially. Because I mean, maybe socially, like they're kind of looked at in the same boat.
No, they're looked at in the same boat.
But legally, it seemed like Bill Cosby's
got there faster,
way more immediate. Yeah,
yeah, it was way more immediate. And now that I think about it, but I don't know. We don't know the legal process of those cases.
That's true.
They're
and they are different enough to warrant different and
it's in different states.
Yeah.
So the legal process is long. They're building a case, they're getting evidence, they're talking to witnesses, they're getting people to go on the stand, people are being shaken away from being from the stand on Harvey Weinstein's part.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of shit going on to build a case. It takes a long time for cases to be built. I forgot when the OJ trial was, but it takes a long time to set that shit up.
Yeah.
Especially something at that magnitude, because you have the media all over it. You have the public opinion all over it. Everyone wants to know what's happening. So you're trying to get it right. And you're trying to win at that point.
Yeah, definitely. It is interesting to think about. I felt a little bit uncomfortable watching that interview just because,
with the woman with Kobe. I'm sorry to keep interrupting you.
No, it's okay. With Gayle King and Leslie, I'm forgetting her name. That's actually in the caption of this video. Let me not be ignorant.
And real quick,
Lisa Leslie.
Okay, and real quick, we were laughing our ass off last year with Gayle King with the R. Kelly shit. We were dying.
We were.
And now we're ready to lynch Shorty over this shit.
No, you're absolutely right. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about.
But the public.
No, yeah. So like this is something that I think is super interesting, is this when it comes to Black celebrity in connection with the Black community, how we negotiate our support of Black stars, because like on the one hand there's this concept that like Issa Rae said, that this thing she said that's become famous. I'm rooting for everybody Black when they asked her at an award show, and it's like there's this concept of we want to get away from the crabs in a barrel mentality. We want to recognize that we've all been put in the same barrel, and that there's other ways out than just trying to climb over each other, and we can lift each other up. At the same time, obviously, we're not a monolith, and people are still individual people and make individual mistakes. So it's interesting. Like, that's something I really want to dig into is like how do we set the standard for like, I guess, like representation, and how do you want to say, like, like do we automatically have to root for everybody black? You know,
I don't know.
Until proven
good.
Like, I mean, you know what I mean, or until they give us a reason not to.
I mean, until they give us a reason not to.
Because I don't know. Because what you said it's a good point. That like you said, last year we memed the
shit out of R. Kelly, and we were loving Gayle King because she just sat there like a woman at church, like, baby
Robert.
She was like, "Child, I'm gonna wait for you. For you."
Everyone was like, "Let R. Kelly have put a finger on Gayle King. Oprah was gonna have him sniped, have him assassinated, whatever. Now we have Gayle King and Oprah both on the hit list.
And we're trying to like set fire to them, like Shrek in the intro production of Shrek. You know, like we're gonna burn them at the stake.
Yeah,
like, come on.
It's kind of like it's this. I think it's this competition to stay woke, stay ahead of the curve, stay ahead of no one ever wants to.
But also protecting black men, period. It's we do very little to protect black women.
Oh, speak on it, brother.
It's just things I've noticed. People have done it with R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
People have done it with Bill Cosby. Yeah. They protect them. And who are they, attacking? Who are their victims?
Black women.
Young black women.
Yeah.
Elijah Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. One of the reasons why Malcolm X bounced was there was, of course, internal beef. But one of the things he said to kind of get a rise out of everybody was Elijah Muhammad fucking had fathered children with like 5 or 6 teenage secretaries of his.
Yeah.
My thing is that anybody can have the potential for evil.
Yeah.
We all can do fucked up shit. And fucked up shit has happened to us. We've all been victims and we've all been oppressors.
Yeah.
So you have to just find that sliding scale, and if you've been more of a good person, not trying to fuck people's lives up, but if you've done some fucked up shit, accept it. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No,
I'm just kind of like,
I appreciate it. I mean, take as much responsibility as you can, right? Like what we were talking, what Dyson was talking about with Kobe. You don't have to, and I want to be careful when I say this.
It's really, really careful, because I felt myself going down a hatch of like, yo, I could say something really fucking stupid right now. So let me just chill.
No, you're right. I mean, it's obviously things are case by case, but doing one.
I think we have to just look at people as individuals now.
Yeah, is not always indicative of your personality and who you actually are. Like the fact that Bill Cosby abused however many tens of people that he did, that's indicative of who he is as a human being. Because there's no way you could repeatedly do that and not
be a piece of
type
shit
of person, right?
Yeah.
So there's that. But there are people that and I want to get away from like the sexual assault stuff, but like because
I would like niggas getting jumped. Like what happened? Allen Iverson, when he was in high school, he got into a whole racial brawl in a bowling alley, and he threw a chair at a girl. Allen Iverson and some of his teammates heard that one of the white kids called him a nigga. And this is in Virginia in the 90s.
Right.
And so the whole brawl happens. It's on video. You don't see Allen Iverson do anything because it's just madness.
Yeah, and it's also the 90s, so no one could film anything.
Where it's on one of those like, big ass shoulder camcorders, and you can see the fucking static in the screen. So that's one. And then he served his time, and he became a legend in the NBA, one of my favorite players. Yeah. And I'm sure he did what he had to do to be a better person and get himself out of that. And then also Michael Vick. Michael Vick with the whole dogfighting situation. I was talking to my mom about it, and people were on his ass because we all love dogs.
We do.
And people were on his ass over this, and they just never let him catch a break. He served his time in jail, and he's done work with animal shelters. He's given money to peaceful animal acts or whatever.
Yeah.
Organizations to protect animals.
Yeah.
And he's been doing his thing. And some of those dogs, while he was in jail, got some were put down, but some got adopted, and were able to, live nice lives outside of being
suburban dog lives.
As suburban dogs with cute little white children, little 3-year-old babies, and this dog was out there with Michael Vick going, hack, 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 But people are still, and that happened like 10, 15 years ago.
People still bring it up.
People are still, you're a dog murderer, you're a killer, you need to be in jail, or you need to be under the church or some shit.
Or this is my favorite, you're only doing this because of the fact that you used to be a dog killer or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm only acting better because I learned a lesson from my wrong behavior. Like, you know what I mean? People get so, and this is going to turn into me ranting about cancel culture, but people get so caught up in like the fact that, oh my God, like, God forbid you tweet anything.
People are redeemable, and people should have the ability
to
be redeemable.
It's like what happened with James Gunn. He's not black, but just a brief aside, the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. What do you do?
It's not even that he did anything. Michael Cernovich, who's like this super right-wing commentator or whatever, Alex Jones type dude, he leaked a bunch of tweets from like 2006 that James Gunn made.
2006.
A lot of bad humor, a lot of stuff to do with, like sexual assault jokes, pedophilia jokes, stuff like that. And I'm using air quotes. You can't see me. But
no, he really is.
Yeah, I am. But and people. So he got fired by Disney, and they recently rehired him. But actually, the gag is on Disney because now he's getting their money to direct Guardians 3, and he's getting DC money to direct the Suicide Squad reboot because they hired him after Marvel fired him. Point just being that
Suicide Squad better be good.
I hope so. All this stuff happened, and everyone was getting infuriated. But then I'm looking at, and some people were, I'm not acting like I'm the only person who was unaffected or whatever, but there were some people saying like, okay, first of all, this was years and years ago, but I'm also looking at the timestamps.
It's 2006.
What shows were really popular in 2006? South Park, Family Guy, Futurama, Robot Chicken, Boondocks, all that stuff that we were laughing at.
We were laughing at pause, no homo. You niggas are gay.
The second episode of Boondocks is the trial of R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are y'all acting like we all just arrived?
Homies over hoes was hilarious.
I'm just saying that, like, you have to, like you said, people are fallible. People also grow. And there's no, like, it's one thing to be like, it's one thing to notice a pattern in behavior that hasn't changed. It's one thing to say, even with we could get into this.
What's up, man?
The Kevin Hart situation.
Oh, yeah, that one. Who gives a fuck? Kevin Hart not that funny.
Not even.
All he does is complain about being short and screams.
That's true. I'm
just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna leave that little messy, spicy tea
right on the table.
Just gonna leave right there on the table with a napkin, with a napkin and a coaster.
Right. There's some.
I'm gonna put a spoon in it.
Right. There's some.
You're
honey.
Gonna stir it up. Some honey, some agave nectar if you like it like that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Thank you.
Just for someone to drink.
Right. Someone. No, but that. Yeah. I mean, I remember when he was going to host the Oscars, and then the.
We can get into that too because that's tonight. I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But yeah, I think we will move there eventually because he was going to host, I think last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then it was either a tweet or the fact that someone brought up like an old stand-up set of his that he had made some homophobic jokes.
And pretty bad, but
yeah. And I don't know if people were more upset about the jokes themselves or about his response to them being brought up. I think a lot of it was the response because he seemed like kind of abrasive to it. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, what
he apologized for it like 5 years before and that whole thing happened, and then they brought it up again.
This is a question not just for you, but for the audience. DM us. What constitutes for y'all an appropriate apology? Because I don't know.
That is a good one. I don't know. Add a HvO pod on Instagram.
Yeah,
DM us and tell us your thoughts on that.
Post a story and tag us in it and let us know how you feel. Because
April, we're talking to you.
We are. Because for me, I feel like, again, it's a thing where people just aren't satisfied. It's like if you did it, then you are it, you know, and there's no apology that you could make because you're only apologizing because we brought it up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also interesting, like, one of the things I mentioned earlier that I wanted to talk about, because you sent me a really interesting article. In the wake of, I think, Queen and Slim, a lot of us in the community, I didn't see it.
But I'm just saying it's dope because it has a new black actress in it, and I'm getting tired of seeing the same black actors and actresses in the same fucking movies with each other.
However, let me see if I can find this. Did I ever read to you the casting call that they put out for Queen and Slim?
No, you never showed me that.
The description for that female character. So I'm going to look for that. But
is it going to say Issa Rae type?
No, not even. Queen and Slim casting call. But
I really thought it was going to be like that.
No, it was something like, so obviously it was written and directed by Lena Waithe, and she was in charge of...
Oh, I like Lena Waithe.
She was in charge of the casting descriptions, right? Mm-hmm. And so it went out viral, the actual breakdown of the... Well, the casting director, it was a white Peruvian lady, so I don't know how much influence Lena Waithe had directly over the casting, what the casting director wrote in the, the thing, in the audition piece. Mm-hmm. But I do know that, she had to have seen it at some point. Basically, so this is from BET.com.
Jesus Christ.
Queen and Slim has been in theaters for less than a week, and so far it's received generally positive reviews. However, the film stirred up fresh controversy when Twitter discovered an old casting call for the role of Queen in the film, which was ultimately portrayed by Jodie Turner-Smith, who I'm sure does a fantastic job in the film. Under the role's description, Carmen Cuba Casting relays they're looking for a female between the ages of 20 and 35 who is, quote, brown-skinned, that's fine, and theoretically, if, quote, she were a slave, she would have worked in the fields.
Wow! Wow!
And so...
No.
And so...
How is that not even a bigger deal? How did that not, get popping? Why did I see it on Instagram at all? That's crazy.
Isn't that insane? Like, that the fact that...
And her agent read that and was just like, listen, this will be a good role for you, sweetie.
This is for you, sweetheart.
Like, sweetheart, I got this role for you. It's going to be amazing. It's you. You look like a slave and you work in the fields.
Sorry, what? Sorry, could you repeat that to me? No, it literally...
look like you work in the fields, sweetheart. I'm telling you. It'll be lovely. I'm telling you.
It'll be marvelous.
This is for you.
It'll set your career up fabulously. You're working alongside Daniel Kaluuya.
Okay, yours is way better than mine.
you know the handsome boy from Get Out? Yes, him. You're going to be with him. I think he's British. No, but literally, so they wrote that, and
I'm sorry, bro. That was amazing.
Daniel, I'm also assuming that this woman would pronounce his last name correctly the first time. She absolutely wouldn't. This character that I made up in my head, she would call him Daniel.
You should do that more often, bro.
Daniel Collard Greens or something.
Daniel Collard Greens. Stupid. That's what we're gonna call him from now on.
Daniel Collard Greens.
And Get Out too. Daniel Collard Greens is at it again. Keep fucking the white girls.
Get out further. But
stupid ass.
Keep going. No, but so that's something for us to think about while I get into this, because in the wake of Queen and Slim, there has been a lot of conversation about sort of the commercialization of Black trauma in film. And for me, honestly, I reached a point, I can say this, and I've said this a bunch of times before to a bunch of people who will be listening to this, after 12 Years a Slave, I never need to see another slave movie.
I never seen 12 Years a Slave. I saw Django Unchained, and I was just like, ooh, okay, yeah, that's Boondocks, okay.
Yeah, Django Unchained is dope.
It's Catcher Freeman. That's what it is. It's Catcher Freeman.
I got it.
So the Catcher Freeman episode in Boondocks was basically Django Unchained. Mm-hmm. So it was about granddad's great grandfather who was a slave revolter and was out here chopping niggas up and doing his Django thing. Mm-hmm. He had the bandana on his neck and the bullets and shit. Had the whole guard. He looked like Django. Mm-hmm. And then there's other stories, and then I won't spoil it for people who already seen it, but it's so long ago, but it's such a good show, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm sitting in there watching with my mom. I'm like, this is fucking Catcher Freeman. Like, this is Boondocks. Yeah. Fuck Quentin Tarantino.
No, it's all right. There's a lot of people who feel that way for different reasons. But I think it is a valid point that, like, a lot of, black film and even black theater is based around, the trauma, is based around the what we call
the gang shit, the slave shit, the
all
police brutality shit,
trauma porn. That's what it's about. And even when I saw the trailer for Queen and Slim, and again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I could be talking out of my behind right now, but the premise to me seemed inherently controversial for no reason. Like it felt even watching the trailer, because the trailer makes it look like they get pulled over by the cop, right? The cop is giving them a hard time. Then the cop starts roughing up Daniel Kaluuya. Then the girlfriend gets involved. It turns to this big thing. The gun gets away, and then Daniel Kaluuya, of his own volition, shoots this cop, but not necessarily because the cop is like attacking him. So he kills the cop. And to me, I'm like, automatically you've set yourself up. Whatever argument you're trying to make, Lena Waithe, is buried behind. You're not getting past the Blue Lives Matter barricade. Because you just shot a white cop in the opening act of your film, and that's the premise of the movie. So now they're on the run. And again, I haven't seen it. I don't know if the movie is praising them for having done it or if it's a punishment or whatever. But like, saying all that to say, I think that the article made a really good point that you sent me, and I'm gonna pull it up. I think
I haven't read it since I sent it to you.
I think I have it. No, I don't.
But yeah, it was all those movies that were coming out, especially the Fruitvale Station with B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. It basically said that, like,
we don't need all that.
No, we don't. It basically said that at a certain point, here it is. This is from the Independent. For some time now, black suffering has been a theme in Hollywood, and I've noticed that in the 7 years since the birth of the Black Lives Matter movement, our trauma, specifically at the hands of the police, has gone from a subject matter to an entire genre.
Yeah. It sells tickets, and people who are fake woke and want to be deep will go and watch those movies and be like, that was so powerful.
Yeah.
Or white people will be like, I finally understand
what I've been doing wrong this whole time.
Yeah. I'm just getting tired. I'm not getting tired or whatever. I just don't like how there's not a lot of options for even other races to have their genres in movies, or we can't just have mixed things and just have stupid whatever movies or have amazing whatever movies.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the two black things are either Tyler Perry movies, which are dumb as fuck, or these trauma porn movies, or these whatever B-list hood movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't just have a regular ass like Friday or like dumb black rom-coms. So I was like, oh, this is cheesy.
And that's part of why...
or Asian ones too.
Yeah.
Because they don't have much representation like that either.
In Westerns.
Their big deal was fucking... their big thing was Crazy Rich Asians. The last time an Asian person led a movie like that, and it was such a big deal, was probably Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, Jackie Chan, but I love your movies. But, you had Chris Tucker with you. Or you had Owen Wilson with you. Or you had some little kids with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that. Oh shoot!
You said Jet Li with you.
You said something that I wanted to. What were we talking about before the Crazy Rich Asians? Oh yeah, that's part of why shows like Watchmen are so dope because, and I don't know if you saw it. It's on
I didn't see it. I want
to,
but it's just so long.
It's so okay, guys, to just have like black people being. Well, Watchmen. Okay, Watchmen's not the best example of what I'm trying to say because Watchmen does have a lot to do with like it's
the
very
police
about
but it's a political fucking comic book, anyways.
And that's where it comes from. But I think that like what you're getting at is that it's okay to let black people have fun in movies.
Yeah,
and it's okay to like let
everybody have fun.
Let us be fantastical. And that's like. I think that's what when we think about this idea of representation, right? Like, what do we want to represent? Because first of all, what even is representation? What is it? What do you think that means to you?
What does it mean to me? I don't know, because I felt like I related to plenty of white characters, plenty of Asian characters. I related to Kurt from the X-Men, Nightcrawler, the blue one from fucking Transylvania, with that whatever accent he has. I remember seeing him on X-Men Evolution. I was like, yo, I fuck with him. He's the blue one. I like blue.
That's the one I would be. Yeah.
I'd be him. Or who else I had that? Or Max from Goofy Movie. Or he's a dog, but he's a white kid. Like you're assuming he's a white kid.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can find representation anywhere as long because I don't really identify myself as just a black dude,
Right.
or I'm mixed.
Maybe it's also different for you because you're
biracial.
biracial.
Yeah, I'm mixed. I'm biracial, and I feel like I have the privilege, or I'm lucky enough to be able to identify with whatever I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I identified with this movie Johnny Tsunami, and the kid Johnny is this Hawaiian kid moving into Vermont with all these rich ass white kids, and he's hanging out with the black kids snowboarding, and while the white kids ski.
Yeah,
you know, and he beats the white kid in a snow race. It was really dope.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel you. I think when people talk about representation, I think what they mean is that, and I'm taking 2 courses on this that kind of correlate. One is called Race and Representation, so obviously, and then one is called Communication and Popular Culture, and they're both kind of about how everything we consume as far as media is concerned has been coded in a specific way.
Yeah.
And so...
Damn, I'll take that class.
Yeah, so there is a very legitimate critique to be had in that we haven't done very much work, despite how much of our culture in America has been created and or innovated by Black people.
Yeah.
How many things have been invented by Black women, invented by Black men, all that stuff. We pay lip service to it, especially when it comes to Black women, obviously, but we don't, our culture doesn't always reflect it, weirdly enough.
American culture or Black
American culture, okay, I think. And so, which some can make the argument is Black culture. Some people would say that. And so, for me, it's like...
What's the most popular music right now?
Hip hop.
Oh, okay.
It used to be rock, and now it's hip hop. And rock came from blues anyway, which was a Black invention.
and rock hasn't been good since 1990.
Whoop!
Listen, ever since Nirvana and Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of chilled out, and obviously Nirvana didn't chill out. Kurt Cobain killed himself. R.I.P. to the God.
R.I.P.
Rock's been kind of trash.
It's a valid thought. It's become much more obscure. It's either pop rock or soft alt rock or whatever. And I'm ignorant. I'm sure there's lots of still.
Imagine Dragons Fire.
Metal rock out there. I still love me some Paramore, but that's soft rock. That's
Paramore. Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. I'm emo. But I think what people talk about when they talk about representation because of that is, seeing different kinds of stories, right? That ultimately can be identifiably. It's fine to have stories that are neutral, are ethnically neutral.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to have more stories that are identifiably whatever ethnicity, identifiably Black in this case. And, I even remember we just talked about how he can stay in jail and we don't need to free him. But Little Bill, when I was growing up, I loved me some Little Bill.
Oh hell yeah, me too. That shit was fire.
Little Bill was fire, and I kind of identified with Little Bill because he was this nerdy kid who loved reading, and that was his whole thing.
Yeah, it was dope.
But yeah, like you said, there's still enjoyment for me to be had, and has always been and always will be for me to be had in things that aren't Black owned or whatever, but I think it's interesting that you brought up Tyler Perry. That's almost a whole other.
Fuck that nigga.
That's almost a whole other podcast.
Cause I just don't like him. I don't like his stories. I don't like the way he writes. I don't like the way his characters are set up. He he has literally 5 types of women on his. He has 5 women.
Yeah.
There might be all different actresses, but you can literally replace them easily.
Yeah.
It's the bitch.
Yeah.
The church lady, the professional one, the professional one is the independent one. There's the fucking
who usually is made less independent because she finds love. She realizes
she needs a man after a while.
Her independence has stopped her from being able to have a romantic relationship.
Or the one that's being abused,
right.
And then the fucking baby mother or some shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's all. And then he puts in, Medea.
Yeah.
Just cause, which I think is stupid. You're representing women like that. I'm not just going to say Black. You're representing women like that, bro. Yeah. Come on. Sometimes cross-dressing can be funny.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's hilarious.
Yeah, sure.
But
there's even some Medea stuff. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've never liked a Tyler Perry thing in my life.
I did when I was 12, but I was like, nigga, you stupid.
And we might have different levels of experience with it. I think that oh boy.
And then he keeps all the men I'm a victim. I must chill out. I'm doing whatever. Or then they'll have the guy beating on his wife. You know, but
you always have to have a fight between. You always have to have a fight between the old guy and the light skin new guy and the dark skin abuser.
And he's racist for that too, anyways. Because isn't it the dark skinned dude that's always beating on his wife
most of the time?
Spicy.
But you know, I think like the heat's coming up. Sorry,
radiation. The radiator is steaming. Well, not actually steaming, but it's just like.
But I think that there's a I kind of fall into what Corey
White. No, what I'm talking about.
Goodwin. Which one is the lead and Double Toasted? Corey Coleman or it's Coleman? I think was the lead.
Oh yeah.
Corey Coleman. He talked about Tyler Perry and he said that like as a businessman, to a certain extent, I respect it. Like I respect. Okay,
yeah.
It's
McDonald's. You found your recipe. You found your formula. You got it.
Whatever. And maybe he shouldn't have to change because there are people who like what he does legitimately. There are people like me who at this point watch it for ironic kicks because I know that I know it's gonna be bad. Like when I watched Acrimony, I knew that I wasn't gonna like it.
Did you see Fall from Grace?
I did.
How was it?
Horrendous.
Actually,
as I'm
ashtray, bitch. I didn't even watch it. I just know that line.
It's the best line. Best line of 2020.
Ashtray, bitch.
It's his delivery too. It's so heavy. Ashtray. And so,
it was almost me.
I hope not. Dear God. No,
you know the story, but no, it wasn't.
But
it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm telling you,
it will
never be me. But it's really funny.
Jude's too woke.
It's no, I'm not woke. I hate woke. I'm a philosophical gangster.
You're conscious.
No, I'm a philosophical gangster.
Okay, not even conscious, just philosophical.
I'm a philosophical gangster.
Period. But what was I saying?
It was ashtray, bitch, and then you were saying something before that.
Basically, yeah. That as far as like I guess black capitalists go, which is that could be another podcast.
Oh, that's another spicy thing.
But
oh my God. You're being so spicy, Justin.
We are.
You're being so spicy.
He did what like the idea is, and he's built this studio, which is a massive accomplishment. It's the size of a small city. You know what I mean?
And it was a Confederate base.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, he bought it. It was a former Confederate Army base.
Oh,
and golf clap.
Very nice, Tyler. Very nice, Mr. Perry. Thank you.
And then they're like, "Oh, he turned down Disney," and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, "Oh, yeah. Suck my dick."
But I do think you're right, and this is something I was telling my parents is like because he posted this video where he had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 manuscripts for television shows all out in front of him. He was like, "You see this? I wrote all of them."
So?
And I was like, okay, that might have been cool when you were like in college, but now you are not only rich enough to hire a writer's room, you are actually creatively obligated to not be the only person writing your own stuff anymore. It doesn't make sense for you to keep being in your head for this much time, and it's totally fine.
Just like Drake writing his own lyrics.
Written, produced, and directed by Tyler Perry is cool. That's so great for
starting out role.
Yeah. But like, you don't have to do this, bro. Especially not for TV shows,
and you need help
and multiple episodes and seasons, bro. And you got to get out of your own head. You cannot be.
And no one can work like that. The idea that you can,
the ego is too much.
The idea that people can think they can work like that is beyond me, and it's ridiculous. You need to chill out.
Definitely.
I'm not going to drive my car forever. Yeah. It needs to stop. Yeah. I need to stop. I need to sleep. I need to not be woke at this moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's and like we've said, like I obviously there, and I remember like because I have tapes of his plays, like the DVD recordings of the plays he used to put up, and I just think that at a certain point, like, okay, there are aspects and tropes of the black community that sure you could put on display, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. Some of it's funny,
yeah,
but at a certain point, it does become way too much of a parody. And like for us, for black people watching it, we might know that it's a joke, but for other people, they don't know. For the white people, they don't know that that's a joke.
Why you always go for the white people?
For the Asian people, they don't know that it's a joke. For the Latino people, they don't know.
They do know it's a joke.
Some of them,
but they're black anyways.
You know what I mean? It's like you are presenting. It gets to a point where you're.
The Eskimos don't know what it is.
The Eskimos don't know. the indigenous Americans, they don't know.
And they're not allowed to know anything.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Where's
I'm being spicy. I'm being ridiculous. That was actually a dumb statement. My fault. I'm retracting that.
It's good that you caught yourself immediately. No, but like, yeah, the point is that, that's where it's really sticky for me, is that there's no real accountability, I feel, for the fact that like you are representing something that is not entirely true. You're putting like these kind of cartoon characters out to the world and saying like,
and it's
this
cool,
is real.
But put out something else.
Yeah. With all your influence, I mean, even just looking at that movie, A Fall from Grace, there's no reason the production was that atrocious. The wigs in that film, the lighting in that film.
The production in Bad Boys was pretty bad.
Was it?
Yo, so like, spoiler, Will Smith got shot, right?
Oh, okay.
And you can see like the red splotch, but like electronically, the pixels like appear on his shirt as he's getting shot. Or when you see a gunshot happen, you see the kind of like the fake, like a really muzzle flash, the ugly fake muzzle flash from like a video game in the 90s or some shit. You see that. You see the San Andreas shit. Like,
here we go again. Yeah.
And I'm not even a film person. I actually, I never told you this. For 2 summers, I went to New York Film Academy's summer camp.
Oh, how was that?
It was interesting. I was, only black kid there. But I made a couple things and it was cool. And so I kind of understand editing in a very minuscule way. Mm-hmm. And so when I see it, sometimes I'm just like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Do better, Will Smith.
Editing is so crazy because
it's so hard.
Brief tangent. Editing is really what separates films from like any of this world.
From ass acting to good.
Yes. And from theater is like the edit is where the movie is. And so you don't really think about it you're not supposed to think about it when it's great. You're not supposed to realize it, necessarily, except for like things that are intentional, like certain transitions and stuff. But you do notice when something is bad, when you move from one scene to another with no idea how you got there, or like, sound editing and all that stuff. So yeah, props to editors. They are the unsung heroes of the industry, of any industry, music, anything like that, writing. But yeah, I mean, as far as film goes, obviously the Oscars are tonight. We're recording the afternoon of the Oscars.
What's up for what?
I don't intend to watch, but it's an interesting crowd of films this year. I
was actually watching something on Wisecrack about how the Oscars started, and it was basically a way to keep the union from rising. So this guy from MGM, I forgot his name, created the Oscars as its own union, created the Academy as the union to pay the laborers and everybody less off rip before an actual, solid, unbiased union would come up and demands more money for these workers. Uh-huh. And it kind of caused a separation of the artiste to the laborers being the sound guy, the light guy, or no, you know what? This is the 1930s. The sound guy, the light guy, the camera guy,
set dressing guy, yeah,
makeup guy, and then the artistes, the actors and the directors, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. It was all to like.
Wisecrack is a dope channel.
I love them so much.
I like it. The philosophy of, and then like.
Yeah, my favorite one was I think the Dragon Ball one. They did a couple good Joker ones.
They did Philosophy of Dragon Ball Z.
No, the Dragon Ball, the original.
Oh, okay.
And it was basically based off of this Buddhist teachings and how like you don't directly go for your goal. You might have to go for the sidetrack. If something needs help, it might take you to your goal anyways. You might think you're going slower, but you're actually
that's the right path.
Going the right path.
Speed. Interesting. Yeah. Well, as far as what's nominated, I guess if anyone was curious, Best Picture, it's kind of a random year. Best Picture, we have Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917,
and Once Upon a Time
in Hollywood, and Parasite. Now,
I want to see Jojo Rabbit. Actually,
I wasn't crazy about seeing it. I don't know.
Listen,
of these, I've seen 3, 4, 5.
Listen, Nazis being made fun of in a parody. I'm all for. I'm all for a Nazi roast.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's valid. I do.
And they were talking about that too on Wisecrack. How these movies, the Oscar-winning movies, I keep interrupting you.
That's
how
fine.
the Oscar-winning movies are like either like big war epics or biopics about somebody.
Yeah.
They're all have that like general formula, but not artistically astounding movies. Like Matrix was passed over.
Yeah.
Fucking Shawshank Redemption actually wasn't popular at all
when it came out.
It got popping on video on Blockbuster, you know, because the idea of you're sympathizing with men in a prison. Yeah. But then when you watch the movie and what was going down is an actually amazing movie. Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite movies. Yeah. It's mad dope. Morgan Freeman has been 80 years old ever since he was born. I love you, Morgan. You're my father.
But I was actually talking to a friend of mine last night about this as far as like, and, you know, just looking at Best Picture, you know, I'm not watching just because, like, I kind of got bored, or at least I'm bored this year with this election. But I would love if Parasite won Best Picture. Mm-hmm. I think it's more possible than people might think because the Oscars, the Academy does pick, like, random selections, like when they gave it to Shape of Water 2 years ago. Oh yeah, I heard about that. That was weird. I mean, other than that, I guess it could be The Irishman, but that would be super boring.
I didn't even see The Irishman because I heard it was 3 hours long.
It's 3.5 hours long, and I'll be honest, guys, it's just okay. That's how I feel.
And I love Martin Scorsese. What's your favorite Martin Scorsese movie? Because you saw Raging Bull.
I've seen Raging Bull. I've seen Taxi Driver.
I never saw Taxi Driver.
I've seen. I haven't seen The Departed.
It's mad good.
Through. I have seen Goodfellas.
Great movie.
And I've seen. I haven't seen King of Comedy. I would say right now.
I'm a Goodfellas guy.
Off the top, I guess it would be Goodfellas probably, but I also like Martin Scorsese's style of filmmaking is. Actually, no, it's probably Raging Bull. It is Raging Bull.
Bull was really good.
It is Raging Bull because there's no narration.
Kendrick has CTE because that nigga has some brain damage and it was wild.
And I don't mind narration and everything. I don't mind that that's his stylistic choice, but I did like that Raging Bull didn't have narration from what I can remember. Okay. And I think the performances in it are great, especially Joe Pesci is really great in that movie.
Joe Pesci is great, period.
Yeah. So that's probably my favorite. But
you can go from Gangsta to Home Alone.
Yeah, right. The range.
Come on, son. That's what we doing.
But yeah, I think that like what's important to remember when it comes to award shows is that one, and this is first and foremost, they're pretty arbitrary.
What's arbitrary?
As in like
the awards?
Yeah, is that like they don't like they are honorific and it's fine. It's fun to like acknowledge this, but honestly, like even being nominated, sometimes people could take like the snubbing thing too far. It's like, okay, a film was nominated and it doesn't win. It was snubbed. It's like, no, it was nominated. That film will forever be Academy Award nominated. That actor will forever be Academy Award nominated. That's something that's on your record. So like
facts. And also it's the same thing with the Grammys. The only time I really felt like something was snubbed when Macklemore won over Good Kid.
Oh Jesus, what? When did that happen?
That happened in like when Good Kid came out, like 2012 or 2014.
Macklemore hadn't made an album.
Yeah, with Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, with Thrift Shop, and
they chose that for what? Hip hop?
Yeah, best rap album. Best rap album at that year was beat Good Kid, Mad City. That's the only time I thought something was snubbed.
To your point, I thought both in the recent years, Beyonce and Jay-Z, I thought were both snubbed for best album.
But that was those were hard though, because Damn is Damn. 444 is 444, and I love both albums.
Was 444 and Damn came out the same year?
Yeah. So that's like, and Damn won. So like.
Oh, for best rap, yeah, but 444 was also for album of the year, if I'm not mistaken, and he lost to Bruno Mars.
But that was also a big album, and it was
24 Karat Magic is dope, but no one was talking about it until way after it came out. Is all I'm saying.
But it was no one that we knew like that.
Again.
I know, sorry. I wanted to go over it again because we just missed the Grammys. I don't even know who won. I don't even know who won because it was the day Kobe died.
Yeah.
But like. I would say that Bruno Mars album because it's so big. He has such a big audience, and so does Hove.
True.
But like Bruno Mars is in your 70-year-old Italian Asian grandmother's radio just cause.
Billie Eilish won all 4 of the major categories.
She's a little bastard. She's a bad kid, and Tyler the Creator won his thing.
Yeah, I mean, what Billie Eilish said recently about how rappers are all posers was kind of weird because it's like, aren't you also kind of contributing to like everything? A lot of your image is also posing, but I think she's talented. You didn't hear about this?
Nah, I didn't see her calling rappers posers, but I think what she means is like the weird rapper like on some like a Migos shit or 6ix9ine shit or.
I mean, she might have been, but she said, what did she say?
Or like Lil TJ or Lil Pump, those
quote,
kids.
Quote, there's a difference between, and listen, like, I did see the nuance in potentially what she might have meant, but I also think that this is a difficult thing to stomach coming from like an 18-year-old kid who has built a lot of her image around romanticizing mental illness and depression and stuff like that. So that being said, she said there's a difference between lying in a song and writing a story. Quote, Eilish said in the profile, open quote, there are tons of songs where people are just lying. There's a lot of that in rap right now from people that I know who rap, close quote. And so this is from Vulture. This is an whole article that you can read. The Tide has rapidly
Culture
changed.
Builder. And it's right? Spicy. Well, I felt like being spicy.
But saying like, yeah, she won, I think, Best New Artist, Best Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year.
Good for her. Will she be here in a couple of years? Who knows?
Who knows? She'll probably drop off the map and reinvent herself the same way Miley Cyrus did.
Yeah. She'll grow dreadlocks.
Or shave her head. But
no, Britney already did that.
Oh, yeah, so she's got to switch it up. Yeah, got to do something different.
Britney, bitch.
But yeah, I think it's important to realize like progress, even when it's incremental.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just like, if there's a thesis to this episode, because we did just kind of have a long, winding conversation. We didn't have really any focus points necessarily. We just wanted to kind of take it easy. But I think it's important to recognize progress, even when it's incremental. And it's important to validate that progress. It's the same thing like when you're raising a kid. You know, when your kid finally does something that you've been telling them or wanting them to do. And we talk about this in social psychology, like when the shy kid finally comes out to spend time with the family. Oh, look who decided to join us. Don't do that. Oh, yeah. Like, validate it. Encourage it. Oh, I'm glad you're here. You want to, like, that's what we should be doing.
Want a soda there, buddy?
The culture is our kid. We're all raising it. We have to be, I think, a lot more attentive and gentle with each other and not try to, like, one-up each other with these, with tweets and woke concepts.
Be nice to each other.
Yeah. That's the end goal.
Yeah,
we're back though, guys. We have a lot of ideas for this season 2. We definitely want to start getting some more voices in here more regularly.
If DM us HvO pod on Instagram.
If you're interested in potentially featuring, let us know. Your name, where you're from, what you would want to talk about, and share this with your friends. You can find more. You can find the first 4 episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can find the first 2 episodes on SoundCloud because we're not paying for SoundCloud Pro.
SoundCloud can suck a dick.
And as always, you can tune back in the week after next, where we'll be talking about whatever we're going to talk about.
Easier.
All right. Peace and love, always, blessings and excellence. Stay safe. We didn't check Citizen today, so you guys check it for yourselves.
And real quick, Justin, there's one last thing. What have you been listening to lately?
Oh, yes, of course. Listen, this is a great question. Because I have been listening to a lot of cool stuff. I listened to this whole Stormzy album.
Oh, how is it?
Amazing. I knew that I liked Stormzy, but now I'm fully a fan.
You're fully a fan? That's lit.
I would say the specific songs that I've been bumping a lot recently are Bossy Bop.
Bossy Bop. Kobe show.
And Own It, which has Ed Sheeran and Burna Boy on it.
That's fun.
And then another one that's non-Stormzy. What was the joint? L.A. Weed by Fuego, C. Tangana, and Alvaro Diaz. Just some random Latin song that I put on.
Dope.
And
you? It's so bad. I'm still on my Griselda shit.
I still have to work my way through that playlist you gave me.
Oh, how you like it so far?
I've listened to literally only 2 of the songs, so I'm not doing that great. But
Which ones did you listen to?
Literally in order. So I listened to Rubber Bands and Wait, and then the one you sent me after that, which I think was just called Griselda.
No, it was called. I'm going through our thing, and what tweet did you send me? We go to see Shorty in an unfamiliar project, and she's taking too long to buzz.
Oh, you gotta watch that video. It's this video of Drake standing in the projects trying to film a music video.
Oh, and Marcy. And yeah. Those are Jay-Z's projects. That's funny. Oh man, what? All right, let me see this damn thing. What did I send you? I gotta run through all this real quick. But I've been on this like Griselda wave, man. I'm like just such a bad person. It's just like, oh my God. Like what? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 18-wheelers.
18-wheelers. Yeah, I listened to that one. So I got to get through Dr. Bird's, Ready Made, all this stuff. But
I've been listening to shit. I want to like, because then I have like my regular playlist that I just like, let it just play and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'd say I listen to like motherfucking. Let me see who can pop up. Jesus Christ. The Firm, which was a group that was formed. It was Nas, Foxy Brown, and AZ. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. It was so fucking good. It's literally the crispy lasagna. It's all based off that Wise Guy mafia rap. Yeah. And it was so good. And I'd say I was also listening to a lot of some G Unit. So like some 50, some Lloyd Banks, and always the game. Always the game.
Always the game.
Yeah, man.
Well, now you guys have the songs you're going to kick the week off with. I hope you enjoy this conversation. If you're still here, listening to it. And
you better.
We'll be back on I can't do dates. What is it? The 23rd, I think, is the next Monday. Shit. We upload every other week. Yeah, so then it'll be a month away from my birthday. Oh, by the way, in March is going to be different because both Jude and I are turning 22.
Now, Justin, we're on a podcast. You're bounded by this.
You're putting this on record.
I'm putting this on record. I've been trying to go out with you.
Yes, you have.
Listen, man, I'm not saying we got to be out here popping mad bottles, being mad stupid, being mad reckless, but let's go to one little place that I know, be reckless, and let's get our friend Amir a dance with a nice young lady. Not at a specific club.
No,
not one of those. No. We're not going to do all that because you know what? Amir might die.
Maybe.
But
we ease him into it.
But
Amir, I know you're listening because you're mixing this. I know you hear this.
But we go to another spot, not too far from here.
Okay.
And do it like that.
Listen, I am open to it. And
God.
You're such a bitch. You're not going to trap me like that. Oh my God. No, but we probably will turn up. And we're out, guys. Be safe. We'll catch you on